Today on the Roxom Report, Bitcoin dipped below 115,000 this morning. We'll tell you where we're at now and what could happen next. The UK has fallen behind in crypto, but some say there are signs things could be improving. $3.1 billion were lost to Web3 hacks in the first half of 2025, and the majority of them from multisig wallets. And Christie's is now offering luxury real estate purchases with Bitcoin. All that, and we have Douse, founder of Talk Crypto to Me, on the show today. That's all coming up right now on the Roxom Report. Welcome to today's episode of the Roxom Report. It's Friday, the 25th of July, 2025. I'm your host, Ione Butler. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at $116,433. And today, we're joined by Douse. Lily is a London-born, Dubai-based international presenter and blockchain advocate, best known as host of the podcast Talk Crypto to Me, where she interviews high-profile crypto entrepreneurs and explores NFTs, Web3, and future technologies. With a first-class degree in chemistry and experience in financial analysis, she brings a unique analytical and energetic style to conferences and digital content in the crypto space. Lily has also emceed major events like Crypto Expo Dubai and the London Blockchain Conference. Lily, thank you for joining me today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here. Awesome to be in London.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, you live in Dubai now.
I do indeed. I made the change 4 years ago.
And was that a Bitcoin crypto related move? What took you to Dubai?
Actually, yeah, no, it was a strange one. So I was working in a TradFi. I really didn't enjoy my job. I left that job and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. It was lockdown. I started trading in crypto, but I had no idea that was ultimately what I'd end up working in. But I had a job offer to move to Dubai for a presenting job for Supercar Blondie. So she does car reviews and she's based out in Dubai. Took the job, realised I needed to at least be working in an industry I actually really enjoyed and understood. Yeah. And I knew nothing about cars. Like, I generally don't drive anymore. It's that point where I'm just like...
You feel like a bit of a fraud talking about it and you're like, what even is this thing?
I can drive, but like I had no love for cars. So then I started up my podcast all about crypto, which was more meant to be about me going on this journey with my guests, trying to understand more about the space, asking, the most simple questions possible to help the viewer to understand all of these different concepts coming out. And then kind of just snowballed from there, where people then started inviting me to work on stage, to advise on businesses. So yeah, it's kind of been one of those journeys which I did not expect when I left London, but it's so nice to come back and then just see how much things have changed here and how much more is happening here and internationally.
You can appreciate the UK a little bit more when you step away from it for a bit. And we were talking before we went live that it's, you're coming from 45-degree heat in Dubai and then you're coming to the UK and you can just breathe. It's just nice to go away and come back from time to time.
And there's just something so special. Like, I really do love coming back to London. It's just the buzz of London, just the diversity of people. Like not everyone is in the same space as you, whereas in Dubai sometimes it's just so intense where you're going out and you're bumping into similar people, and it's people are quite like, where did I go? I went to the gym. There was Token 2049 in Dubai. I went to the gym, and as I was coming out of the gym, it was someone I knew from crypto, was in the same class, and he was like, so what do you think is like the top 3 things to invest in right now? And I'm like, sorry, I have
just got out of the gym.
Yeah, I just had a Barry's. Can you really not be asking me this right now? But it's very much like, everyone's super business focused, entrepreneurial. Everyone's in, not everyone, but there's a lot of people in the Web3 crypto space. So then it's harder to hide. Whereas I come back here and I'm like, no one knows me. Like, no one knows what I'm doing. I can just kind of slide through life, go and grab a coffee, and it's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you moved for that job offer and then kind of eased your way into sort of Bitcoin and crypto stuff. How was that transition? Like, I imagine it's a big move going from the UK to Dubai. How was that? Was it a culture shock? How was it kind of getting into the work, or did you kind of take to it like a duck to water?
No, it was definitely challenging. One, just doing your own thing, like not really knowing where you were going to go with it, but just thinking, oh, I can do this myself. I'm passionate about this industry. How do I portray that to others? How do I help to educate people? Like, how can I build something which hasn't existed before and start something completely by myself. And that was tough because you have no one to look to, no one to say, you know, am I doing this right? Should I do this? Should I do that? So it was tough. And, you know, you're trying to deal with clients for the first time, people pulling you in different directions. You know,
how was that? Did you have people that you already knew, or were you just kind of networking like crazy?
Networking, yeah. It was just, I didn't know anyone really in Dubai. So I had the issue of like making new friends because I didn't know anyone. Then you're trying to make new business as well and make new connections. And yeah, learning how to deal with clients. Like I'd never really, of course, when you work in an office job, you've dealt with people, but it's in a different way. Like I need to know how to write out a contract for someone, invoicing, all of this stuff that you kind of take for granted, but then you're on the ground, you've got to make it work. And yeah, you need to plan your time, you know, be able to accept no from people as well. Like, oh no, that you're not right for this, or we've got someone already for this event. So it's lots of knocking on doors and you don't know where it's going to take you. So I think definitely for the first year or so, that was challenging because it was completely out of all my realms. And then entering a space which, if I'm honest, when I started in the industry, I didn't know that much about it. It was meant to be me learning. It wasn't kind of me just going straight into the deep end and meant to know all these different things. And as an industry, like we do definitely, I think sometimes, you know, ask difficult questions and expect people to know everything. Like the amount of times people throw, you know, tokens at me and they're like, what do you think how this token's performing? I'm like, I don't know. That token.
Yeah.
My God, I've only been working in the industry a couple of months, and it was that challenge of being like, right, I really need to get hold of this. Like I need to do my homework. I need to really understand the space. I need to have an opinion. Like I need to know what I'm talking about so that I can then form an opinion.
Was that why the podcast came about, to help with that?
And it was to help with that, but then I think that's probably why I want to now kind of restart things on my podcast where I've actually filled that knowledge gap, and now I can ask the more challenging questions, which when I started it, I couldn't. Like I didn't really know as much as, definitely not. I've learned a lot in these 4 years. So I think things like that, I definitely appreciated at the time that I didn't know, but it's also not assuming, like, you can't, you know, try and talk your way through it. It's the worst way to do it. Like you have to be honest and say, I'm new to the space. Like I actually don't know. I'm just passionate. And the moment you say that and you're like, I just love this industry, people then will sit down and explain things to you. So yeah, and I think that I was always worried of, did I get in late? Like, was I getting in at a bad time? How was the industry going to go? I mean, I entered when we were sat in a pretty bearish market. Well, it was very bearish. So it was a bit nerve-wracking as well. I'm seeing like charts go down. I'm accepting crypto payments for my work, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I just lost like 10% overnight. I just lost 20%.
Yeah.
So it's, understanding volatility. You kind of have to live through it and go through the different states of the markets. And yeah, it was a journey. It was an amazing journey. Like I really love now. Just being able just to have an opinion on things, whether that be the same as everyone else, whether it not be. It's really great to have come to that place and just find it so fascinating. Like things change all the time. There's new things happening. Things go by the wayside that you and I will be talking about. There's hype around it and then it's gone. Yeah. And it's understanding that that's also always changing too. So yeah, it was one heck of a ride, but it's nice where we're sitting at right now. Yeah,
it seems like you're more confident. You've like gone on the journey, you've built up the experience, know a lot more now. I'm curious because I haven't been to any of the events, and I know that there's so many people do. It's like such a huge thing. And you're working at a lot of them. So yeah, how is the event work? What do you get out of being at the events?
So much. I mean, for me, it's like networking. It's just, there's so many people. Everyone has a similar mindset to what you have. I mean, again, you just get so many different people as well, whether you're at a kind of more developer conference, whether you're at a Bitcoin conference, whether you're at an Ethereum conference. It's just very different. But I think now as an industry, we've grown so much that there is a lot of overlap now between things. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of variety. I get so much excitement. I mean, I'm working on stage. I'm getting to introduce people that I've idolized for years now, people that have really revolutionized the space, and I get to sit there and listen to all of their talks. So for me, it's fascinating. Like I definitely come away every event and I've learned something new. It helps me to stay on top of what's happening as well, because they're always talking about relevant current trends. So yeah, I'm getting to travel too. Like, I don't think you really understand how crypto affects people differently unless you travel and you see how people are implementing it in different ways, whether you're going to America and yeah, it's way more about government and about Bitcoin treasuries and and it was all about Trump as well. It was very much centered around that. Whereas when you travel to Asia, ETFs are way more popular, and actually crypto isn't really something people openly speak about, even though as a region they're one of, I think 9 out of the 10 top exchanges come from Asia. So there's so much money in crypto, but it's less spoken about, and I think they see crypto in a different way.
Is that like a cultural thing, or do you think it's a legal thing?
Both.
Yeah, because that's an interesting dichotomy that they're very much on the forefront, but you can't really talk about it.
I think they fundamentally made like trading in crypto relatively illegal, especially in China. I think Japan and stuff still remains that you can. But there's a lot more obstacles there, and I think I think culturally as well, I believe that people they're not as open about finances, and obviously when you're talking about crypto, people see it as like it's a financial realm that people are talking about, digital assets. So I think it's something that people talk about in a different way. So you really do notice it, and then when you're talking to people in India, and it's a very different market again. And
what's it like in India?
Cross-border payments, like for them, it's so
like
much
practical, really.
Way more practical. Again, they're very limited in who they allow in terms of exchanges, so they don't have the same exchanges that we would have in the West. It's just it's so different how people see it. And in India, it's all about, they also love trading and like how to make money and their way of thinking about crypto is different. But you're talking about probably smaller sums of money sometimes which are being invested, but they're so excited about that could make them more money and growth. Yeah, so for me, like actually being on the ground and talking to people and being like, how is crypto changing your life? How is crypto changing your life? That conversation is so different depending on literally the country as well. It's not even region. Like Europe is so different depending on where you are as to how people view it. And also then you have the technology side of things and blockchain and how people view that. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the most amazing things I love about my job, is that I get to speak to people from different environments and understand how they see the future changing.
Is there anybody that you've interviewed that has really stuck out as like walked away and like, oh, that was like one of the best conversations I've had?
Usually, I mean, it's more like human being, like talking to them as human beings. There's a special moment that you receive. But a lot of like the CEOs, like Yatsu from Animoca Brands, he is just a lovely human being, but also like speaking to him, he just has this very calming, relaxing, and it just makes you feel so comfortable about the industry, because I mean, he's created this incredible business. I'm pretty sure he has like a billionaire status now. Like he's done so well, but he's just super humble and he adds so much like rationale to an industry which can seem very hectic. He brings this calmness. So he's a great one. Some of the Sandbox guys as well. Sebastian, I had an interview with him. Super nice guy, and what they're doing. I was walking here and Sandbox is doing something with Netflix, doing the VR behind it, and they're doing VR Squid Games.
Oh, cool.
Which I just saw their branding. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So them little things where like you just meet these people, just nice people to chat to, and then you see what they're doing, how that's actually impacting the world. And I really do enjoy it. It's not always about what people say, it's about what they're doing as well, and seeing their work in action. I think for me, that's really special.
What's next for you? What's kind of on the horizon? You're kind of here for a little bit of time.
Yeah, so tons of meetings here. It's nice because I get approached by quite a few companies that want me to be like advising on their projects or part of their projects from a media perspective, strategy sometimes. So I have a lot of meetings with them while I'm in London. Quite a few people either spend summer here or spend at least some time in London. So I'm really pushing to do that. So it's going to be a hectic couple of weeks. And then event season will kick back off again in September. So probably I'm more than likely going to be in Asia. There's Korean Blockchain Week. There's, what else has people been telling me about? There's WoW Summit in Hong Kong. Then I go on to do Token 2049 in Singapore, the F1 in Singapore, which I believe one of my clients is sponsoring an F1 team, so I'm going to get to do that. So yeah, it's incredible how just like starting in this industry branches off into so many different aspects. And then back to London for London Blockchain Conference at the end of October, and who knows where I'll be in between. But yeah, lots of traveling. But I think this is my grounding.
The calm before the storm again as it all kicks off.
Yeah, exactly. Which I love. I absolutely love the hecticness, but I really do appreciate the downtime too.
Yeah. You'd mentioned earlier wanting to start the podcast up again too. Do you sort of have a time frame for when you might be doing that?
I think September. I think I need to push myself just to, I think people will start coming back to Dubai that time as well. Mm-hmm. So it'll be kind of easier just to lock people in when they're traveling through, or I think for me that's probably the time, organizing my studio, the editor. I need to get all of that in process, but I think that's the best way to do it. It's just so challenging. Like, I really think people don't realize when you're traveling for work as well, that trying to find time to do it, and you're on different time zones, and someone's messaging you like, should we publish this is going live. It's a lot to run by yourself. I think I also need to start utilizing a nice AI agent to help me out with a lot of the admin stuff, because I think that's where I'm starting to fall behind. Is like the invoicing I was mentioning earlier, like just all of these things you need to remember to do. You kind of need someone, and that's where I'm hoping AI is going to help me out.
Or a VA. But yeah, automation is just, that will probably help manage the load. What was I going to say? Well, I think we're going to actually take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the news.
Security matters. Zappo Bank, the only way to bank your Bitcoin. Apply now at zappobank.com.
Now it's time for our top Bitcoin story making waves today. It's Top of the Block.
Okay.
Bitcoin slipped below $116,000 today, dropping over 2.5%. It's the lowest level we've seen since July 10th. This move marks the end of its recent sideways stretch between 116 and 120,000 and could signal more selling ahead. Technical signals had already been flashing red, and now traders are watching to see if prices fall further, possibly toward the next key support level near 112,000. That's the high Bitcoin hit back in May. The pullback wasn't limited to Bitcoin. Other major cryptocurrencies also lost ground. Ethereum and Solana dropped around 2 to 3%. The CoinDesk 80 index, which tracks a wide slice of the crypto market, is down nearly 3% in the past 24 hours. Part of the pressure may be coming from Wall Street. The Dow Jones fell 0.7% overnight, just as it hit a major resistance point around 45,000. That's the same level where it topped out back in December and January. If US stocks start to reverse from here, it could drag crypto sentiment down even further. For now, traders are watching closely to see if Bitcoin finds support or if this move is the start of a deeper pullback across digital assets. Lily, what do you think of this pullback to 116,000?
It's great. It's awesome. I mean, I think for me or anyone else that's in the space, you're kind of just like, great, I can actually just move a bit of money back into Bitcoin as some of my holdings, which I had there and I just needed to allocate, and I've been waiting. I'm like, okay, perfect time.
Yeah.
Like, for me, any kind of dips are just exciting for that reason. I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't want to buy at the high. So if I see it stuck at around 120K, it's like, right,
feel like this
even
is
though
the
I'm
high
excited,
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
I'm really excited and happy, give it that time. I mean, even if it does withdraw back, it's not something that really worries or should panic anyone. I mean,
We've seen enough cycles of this to know what happens next.
This is just like a bit of a dip down to what's happening in the US. I still don't think it's anything for anyone to worry about. I mean, there's never anything really for us to worry about long term. If you're a long term holder, then there's nothing really to be panicking around. The amount of texts I get, like, what do you think is happening? Should I move this out? Depends how long you're holding. Like, are you day trading?
Yeah.
Then it's something that really impacts you. You know, the markets then it's important to check all the time. But if you're just in it and holding, you're not really worried too much, then this is definitely, it's not something to worry about. It's something to kind of celebrate and be like, okay, you're having a bit of a pullback. Then there's definitely going to be, I think, another rally. I also always say crypto summer, and it hasn't been really starting yet. Hopefully now it kicks off and we just see like a bit of a, let's just stick around this price. Like crypto summer usually means that things aren't as amazing. Like there usually is this little pullback around August that we see. I always make the joke that it's probably loads of crypto bros out there spending their cash in Mykonos or like something over summer, and that's why there's this like little bit of money, a little bit of liquidating of assets, and then things
now
in
we're back to
September.
business.
Usually you do see it, but we haven't seen it this year. Every time I mention about crypto summer, there's a surge and something's happening, so we haven't had that moment's break. So you know what, it can stay around this price. I'm quite happy if it just becomes a bit stagnant right now, and it'd be nice, we just don't want to see anything else in the world happening either.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that's a good outlook and attitude to have now, where it's like, oh, perfect opportunity to get some more. When you were first introduced to Bitcoin and it was having these highs and swings, did it ever freak you out?
Of course, it's super frightening. Like I think, you can wake up and if you're, like 5% down, 10% down, it's a big hit. And if you're talking that you have most of your assets in crypto, then it really has a big impact, because it is nerve-wracking. And for someone that was getting paid in crypto back then when there was this volatility, and I wasn't taking it out, so I'm just sat there with my Bitcoin. For a lot of the conferences I get paid in Bitcoin or some form of stable coin, but I would move it into crypto, and then as soon as you see the drop, you're like, oh my god, what did I just work that whole day for? I've just lost it. I've literally just lost it. So I think understanding not to panic, and like now overall seeing how much the money that I was making then has, I mean, it's probably tripled most of the time from the earnings. So it's the best way of putting your money, and getting it paid in crypto was amazing. But back then it was nerve-wracking, because not many people were doing it either, or people would get paid in crypto and just straight away take it out, which was not really my mindset. I'm like, if I believe in this, then I shouldn't panic and just sell all the time. I have to hold. And
how do you manage it? So if you're being paid for your work in Bitcoin or crypto, and then you've got rent and things like that to pay, do you pay your rent in Bitcoin? Like how do you, like, I can see the point of wanting to keep, to hold, but then you also have to day-to-day expenses, and I think that's when the volatility can be really nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
like, well,
I think it's that balance. It's like understanding I don't get paid everything in crypto as well, so it would be trying to make sure that I was having enough from the other means to go to pay for my rent, to pay for how to get by, and then just make sure that the conferences that really want to pay me in crypto, that was just staying in crypto. And I see it as like, that's like my investment fund. It's my life fund almost. So if I can try and keep as much in crypto as possible, that's great. But obviously we have other expenses, and as life gets better and you're enjoying more of the money that you're making, of course you're going to have more things you're spending on. But also it's trying to find other investments too. In Dubai, it's very easy to buy stuff with crypto. Rent, it's still relatively, you probably could find a landlord that would accept crypto, but you can buy properties in crypto. So things like that, where it's like, even though it probably isn't seen great in the crypto space to spend your crypto on property, And again, I've listened to loads of podcasts, which is very anti that, because it's like the property that you're buying now could eventually, when Bitcoin's hitting something like $1 million, then you've really lost a lot of money on that property. But I still think we have to appreciate, people have to live. There's certain ways to diversify that isn't completely crypto. No one panic out there. I'm not saying anything
you said
against
what?
You're spending your crypto on other things. What? But
You're crazy.
But it's like making sure that you're not, I'm not spending it on stupid assets. I'm not going and spending fortunes on, I don't know, designer clothing or stuff that I'm throwing away. It's actually a real world asset that I also see value in. So it's making sure that you're being smart along that journey, because then you panic less when things happen in crypto. So you kind of do need that, because if you are fully in crypto, that's when you really are getting the struggles of being like, oh my God, like I've just lost 20% of whatever. That's when it's difficult. And I think anyone that's been in the space a while, you know what's coming, and there are always dips along that journey. So you do need to feel comfortable riding that wave, which having other assets does help with that.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree. Yeah, I'm definitely one for diversification. And the house thing is interesting too, because it really depends on just what you care about. I mean, some people want to buy because they want to renovate and do the place up to their own standard, and like if you can and if you want to, fine. I do understand the holders who are just like, keep it because 10 years from now it'll be X amount more. But it's like, what are your priorities? What do you care about? So if it is just 10xing your investment, then keep the Bitcoin. But if you want to build a house for your family and have somewhere that you can call home, that's okay too.
And what realm of risk are you willing to take? Like, how risk averse are you that you're going to start panicking if all of your assets are in crypto? There are panic moments, and you want to keep, and ultimately you want to not be trading or buying things out of that passion and that worry. So it is then good to have other assets, and also it depends what position are you in life. What's your goals for the next 5 to 10 years? How do you see that playing out? I think you need to understand, what are you planning on doing, and what are you building towards? So I think that's good advice for most people, is crypto is there to be an incredible investment for you. It's a way of investing in amazing projects, being part of this new digital world, but that doesn't mean that we have to knock people that do get nervous, and there is other ways to help to just be comfortable with the volatility.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look into the Bitcoin headlines from around the world. It's time for the Global Gist. The UK's crypto industry is pushing for clear rules, and there are signs the government may finally be listening. After years of promises from former leaders like Rishi Sunak to turn the UK into a global crypto hub, progress has been slow. The new Labour government has taken a cautious approach, focusing instead on other priorities. But recent moves suggest a shift could be coming. The Treasury wrapped up in a key consultation in May, proposing changes that would allow stablecoin issuance, staking, and under the Financial Services Market Act. Excuse me, sorry, that sounded crazy. Meanwhile, the Financial Conduct Authority released a paper exploring rules for crypto custody and stablecoins. A separate bill, now under debate, could recognise digital assets as property, a move experts say would mark a major breakthrough. Still, industry leaders worry the UK is falling behind. Other regions like the EU and US are rolling out detailed crypto rules, and countries like the UAE are already welcoming blockchain businesses. Groups like Crypto UK are calling on lawmakers to act faster, improve access to banking, and update outdated advertising rules. They're also urging better management of seized crypto assets, now worth $7 billion. For now, the UK's crypto push still feels cautious, but if reforms pick up pace, the country could still revive its ambitions to become a serious player in the global crypto economy. Lily, what do you think about the UK becoming a serious player in the global crypto economy? Have we fallen too far behind?
I don't think there's ever too far behind, but I do think we need to up our game. I think the issue we have here is that the financial system is so archaic. It's been around so long. The Bank of England has done things the same way for all of this time, and trying to get them to come to terms with this new digitalization, technology is really challenging. There's a lot of key players that just don't get it. They don't appreciate how much the world is changing. So I think they really need to look at that. Again, like travel to different countries and see how they're adopting it and how helpful it is as well. It's not a negative process. It's actually extremely transparent. It's helping governments out there if they use it in the right ways. We just need to not be so negative. And I still think there's this mindset when I come back to the UK of like a bit crypto scam or crypto seen in a negative light. We're not pushing on technology. We're not pushing on Bitcoin and positive projects, and talking about like seized assets. Why are we not allocating that and making sure we're making the most of that? $7 billion, that is a lot of money which could actually be put to good use to make more money through crypto. So I think we really need better strategies. We need better advice. We need to look at how other countries are doing it and how they're doing it well. Regulation. I mean, the Middle East has VARA, and it really has helped so much because there's really good balance between letting people to innovate, but also pulling back on it. You have to allow innovation. You can't always stifle it and be concerned about changes. You have to let some things go and then rein it in. But you can't be so strict on lawmaking and how you see things. And we can't also be just doing things how we've always done them. This is new. This is something which needs to be regulated in a different way. So I think all of them obstacles are going to be huge here in the UK. And I think we need to overcome them. It means potentially bringing in more talent, and how we do that, I don't really know, because
it's definitely not by making things harder. We kind of covered a story a couple of days ago about the UK, I forget what policy they were trying to introduce to encourage innovation. It's like, but at the same time, you're making people who like are investing in businesses leave the country. It's like you can't. They want to be these pioneers of, these financial industries, or a crypto hub, or, leading the way in business, and yet making it incredibly difficult for businesses to operate, and everyone's going away. So it's like you have to kind of make sure that what you want is aligning with the actions that you're taking. And if you're doing the thing that's turning everybody away, something has to give there. So yeah, I feel like this story is promising in a way, because at least it shows signs of some progress, that there is a bit more of an open dialogue. They're going to be debating a bill. We have Susie Violet Ward from Bitcoin Policy UK on a lot, and so she a lot of the times she's like, oh, we'll see what happens. She's quite frustrated with the fact that for a long time it's just been like a closed door, like not even wanting to talk about it. But this to me seems like they're finally, you kind of have to, with all the changes that are happening everywhere else. You have to at some point.
It is so late. Like when you, it's never too late. And I hate using the term late in crypto, because it's not. But you have to pick up the pace. Like you can't just be sat. But there needs to be, within the government, there really should be a whole section all about digital assets, about this regulation, and it needs to be done quickly. It should be a priority. And I know there's a lot happening in the UK, and it's hard to make that a priority, but you can't let it slip. Like everywhere else is really pushing for it, and if you're not, we're just going to see other nations popping, like just all of a sudden having so much more understanding of the industry, so many more businesses. Everyone's going to move. They don't want to set up here. There isn't even the investment here anymore, and that's concerning. Or the people that understand what they're investing in. And I think that's also concerning. Like we have Bitcoin treasuries coming out of the UK, but I really hope that they're getting advice from people that have been in the industry a while, and they're not just in it to make money, but they're actually understanding what's happening. And that's a real big thing as well, is like, we don't want all of this to come from people that just understand TradFi. Because they have an understanding of finance, they think that works in DeFi and the Web3. It doesn't. And the world is rapidly changing. You can't have someone that's literally a dinosaur. You need someone that really understands it, and I really hope that that's also something we're filling, and we're just asking the questions and trying to work out, where is this all going? We don't know, but we need to have a plan, and we know the world is becoming more digital all the time. I mean, AI is just, it's going to revolutionize things at a crazy pace. How do we keep up with that? And that's a big question that we need to all ask ourselves, and everyone needs to think about, you know, is the position that I have now, is there longevity to it because of how much the world's changing? But definitely for a government, how am I staying on top of these changes, because this is going to evolve the world?
Yeah, that's my other worry too. It takes them so long to react to anything like social media, the internet. It took forever to kind of keep up with the advancements with legislation. Crypto, Bitcoin is another example of how far behind they are with AI. I don't. Yeah, it's kind of like
I don't think anyone knows. Like and again, it's all the nations need to come together on it. But this is an international thing as well. Like, everyone needs to understand how much this is changing the world. So I really do think that in terms of importance, this is extremely important.
Yeah, I feel like the UK is sort of just letting it go with AI. You know, there's been a lot of advocates, artists, performers, musicians asking that, you know, just protecting their work. Kind of have a theory that I understand the need to be ahead of the game in AI, and that AI needs data to train itself. But why do you need to take singers' songs and artists' photos, or why like that doesn't solve world problems? You know, you can still have an AI business. It's not ripping off artists. But yeah, it feels like the UK is kind of just like, yeah, whatever.
We'll get around to it when we need to confront this. And it's like, this is happening. It's growing at such a pace that how could you not have at some point wanted to take this on board? And that it also links so much to crypto, Bitcoin. Why are they not really just thinking about how could it help to solve the debt in the UK? Like, there's so many strategies that if they just would have implemented them earlier, there's a lot that could be done, or at least be thinking about them. There needs to be these discussions. We were hearing it at Bitcoin Vegas. There was so many ministers, and I got confused with how we call all of them, but they were so pro having crypto to help solve the international debt crisis of all these countries. And I just don't hear that in the UK. That's not even something that's like, oh, we're in loads of debt, we're fine. Yeah. Whereas, like, can it help? Can we at least change things for the better in that respect? But
I think it's a combination of being overwhelmed with all the problems that they're trying to identify and solve, and also kind of being dinosaurs in a way, like not bringing in sort of forward thinkers, and just kind of being stuck in an old way of thinking. I think that's probably where we're bumping up, but we'll see. I'm optimistic that at least they're having a conversation about this. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll take the small wins.
It's a start. Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to go. Oh, we've not got much time, so I'm going to go right into the next story. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us while we address some technical issues. Lily, we just talked about a lot of hacks in the first sort of 3 quarters of the year. Is this something that you see being quite concerning? Do you think there's going to be more and more of this?
I think it is concerning, for sure. I mean, we don't want to see hacks, but I also do think that as we are in this digital world, this is something that we're facing across the board as well. I want to highlight as well, this doesn't just happen in crypto. There are so many other computer systems that are being hacked out there. M&S being a key example of this. That was a lot of money that they would have lost from their operations, and that was a different type of hack, but a hack all the same. So as we are becoming more digital, this is something that we're having to confront. So I think for cybersecurity purposes, everyone needs to take this seriously. And I do think a big factor in that, again, will be AI. I think AI will have the ability to help at least to identify anything which is happening which is completely against regularity. So I think that will hopefully be our key into helping to improve cybersecurity across every space. But I think where we are right now, it's just an issue that we need to solve. And yeah, I think with the multisig issue, it's still better to have multisig than not have it, and hopefully we can overcome this. I think that's more, the world changes, we have to adapt, we need to learn how to do things in the better way. So I really do believe that security will only get better. It's just a matter of time. the exchanges were able to deal with it. So in the case of Bybit, they didn't panic. I mean, I'm sure they did internally, but and lots of exchanges came together. So I know that I had a conference not long after the hack, and another exchange that works very closely with Bybit actually came together with Bybit to help them out and make sure things could keep running, and there was no issues at all. So I think we have to appreciate it's all going to keep being a learning curve in terms of security, but I do think AI will be able to support changing cybersecurity going forward.
Yeah, I hope so. And this is kind of a new thing that I have heard about. And to your point, I think it is right, being able to find anomalies in systems. The only way that I've sort of seen this is reading about AI being used to make phishing scams more efficient by hackers and things like that. And so my concern is that it is used for nefarious reasons and does the opposite. But to your point, it does make sense to use it within your system to figure out when things are going wrong.
It's impossible when you're facing against AI hacks, which we will see more and more. The only system that can go against it is AI. We are actually not as intelligent as the AI to even really solve these hacks. We're not as quick. We can't make those decisions fast enough. So it has to be an AI security against it. So we really need to understand, how this hacking is evolving, and then train our AI models to be on top of that so that they can deal with the hacking, because it won't be humans that actually have the ability to really face any of this, because it's too advanced for us.
Yeah. See how it goes.
Fingers crossed. Please, AI.
Yeah, please help us out. We don't have too much time, but I'm going to just summarize. Our last story is about Christie's, the auction house, have launched a division that handles luxury property sales using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So there's one Christie's office in Southern California, and they're selling they've got basically $1 billion worth of homes for sales, with sellers accepting Bitcoin right now, which is pretty wild. Homes for around $18 million. What do you think of this, being able to buy houses with Bitcoin?
I think it's great. I mean, it's been happening in the UAE now for 4 years for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is not a new thing. I think
it sounds like it is, but
I think that's what I find so fascinating about being in the West, is like everyone thinks this is new. In Dubai, they've accepted it. The big question I like to ask is, how are they actually doing the process? Because they can say that they're accepting crypto, but what we found in Dubai is people were accepting it, but then off-ramping. So they'd say, oh yeah, I'll accept that in Bitcoin, take the 2% fee to off-ramp, and then just take their money out via that process. So I think it's important to understand, are the sellers actually accepting Bitcoin?
And by accepting, you mean holding?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not just going to straight away go to the bank, because then you might as well just be selling in USD or whatever it is. So understanding that procedure would be great, but it's definitely possible. I mean, in Dubai now, definitely, like you can buy direct from a developer as well in USDT, Bitcoin. You can send them directly. They literally have a QR code. You scan it and you can send it to them in order to have your property. So whether you're doing like a 10% payment, if it's off plan, that kind of things to the developers. So that's become a big thing, and I think developers have appreciated holding crypto, holding Bitcoin. They're making money on the money that they've received from the buyers, and then that money can go into building the project rather than having to actually sell the crypto at all. So that kind of thing is a really positive way of boosting the ecosystem. But I like to understand that as well, because I think it is really important to know, are people using crypto in the right way and making sure that they are keeping it in the industry, or are they moving it out of the ecosystem? So I think those two things are really important, but this is super exciting. This is the kind of news we want to hear. We want to hear about Bitcoin being,
adopted,
used and spent and adopted. And I think this could be great to see. It's a hard time to know if anyone's actually spending their Bitcoin at the moment. I really don't know how much people are. I definitely wouldn't be buying a holiday with Bitcoin, or properties are a more challenging one. I think like physical assets, as we were saying earlier, it's not actually a terrible use of your Bitcoin, but if it's staying in the ecosystem, it's kind of nicer to know that as well. You're not just selling your Bitcoin and it's going back into fiat. It's actually going to that developer and they're going to use crypto in the right way. So I'm excited by that. I think it sounds great for the industry as long as it's done in the right way.
Fair enough. In Dubai, you mentioned sort of putting the the 10% down. Do people mortgage properties there a lot? Is that a thing?
Yeah, so you mortgage, but so with Dubai, so off plan's a big thing.
What does that mean exactly? Sorry,
I actually forget coming back here. It's when they're building new developments,
and you buy in before
it's constantly happening. Like it's everywhere in Dubai is off plan. So you buy 3 years before it's actually built.
That's brave.
You put down a 10% deposit, then it might be 20% as you're getting closer, and you pay up until it's finished. So at the end, you might pay the last installment, might be 50% of the build is at the end, and you pay that to the developer. So that kind of stuff using crypto can, as I say, for the developer can be great. Because if you're accepting Bitcoin and in that time, Bitcoin is going up in price, I don't know, 20, 30%, you really only need to use the profits on that Bitcoin that you're accepting, probably for the build. Like it's that amazing that it can be used. So yeah, most developers in Dubai do accept it now. Most real estate companies do allow you to buy and sell in crypto. So it's been around a while there. But Dubai is just very crypto friendly, so people get it and they're like, oh, actually if we structure this in, it makes sense, and people are willing to take that risk as well, which you might not always get here.
We'll see when we do it here.
Off plan isn't really a big thing here either. That you can you buy?
I don't know, but when you explained that, I just thought, well, how do you trust that the developer is going to deliver what they say? I think we're so used to these horror stories of people buying new builds in the UK and they're leaking and falling apart and the sewage hasn't worked from day one. I would never want to be paying as I go for a new build.
In Dubai, that's super normal. It's like a comfort because you're getting it at a lower price because of the fact that you're buying it before it actually would hit the market.
And they do good jobs of delivering.
It's a lot of the government is involved in a lot of these buildings. Like in some way, they're there again. When people first started moving to Dubai, it was less like that, but now things are way better. There's a lot more regulation. Regulation is key.
Okay. Perfect. Well, that takes us to 2 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me today, Lily.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, so I will be relaunching Talk Crypto Team. That will be in around September time. Also my Instagram, Lily Douse, my ex, Lily_Douse. All of the conferences, everyone out there, please come and join me. Come and see me on stage. I would love that as well. That brings a smile to my face when someone says hi to me. So yeah, just if you see me out and about as well, say hi.
Perfect. Well, that's all we have time for today. We'll be back next week at 1 p.m. with more of the Roxom Report. We're handing over to Nolan with The Great Awakening now, and we'll be back next week. Bye.